Right, good morning everyone. We are live here for round 15 of Bronze Season 8. Absolutely amazing to be back on Bronze Comms. It's been quite a few weeks as those in the division know, so it's absolutely brilliant to be back. In my division, we're missing Billy this week. He's away in Bournemouth, so Billy's having a great time and is in a pit somewhere. But it's absolutely brilliant to be here this morning and looking forward to what hopefully should be an extremely exciting Qatari Grand Prix. Very, very difficult track. There's 16 corners, but for the most part, you need a very, very high downforce car to really get the maximum out of this track. And there's probably only one serious overtaking zone, and that's in towards turn one. So we'll keep an eye on that as the race unfolds. But it should be a one-start medium to hard around here. The softs burn off quite quickly. But of course, we'll wait and see on that. I think there's a Haas out first. We'll go and see if we can find the Haas driver. I think that's a Pod Racing. Of course, pushed. Ginaldi's so close to last season's championship in Season 7. Lost out by, I think it was 1 point in the end. Let's see what he can do here on his first final lap here for the Qatar Grand Prix as he barrels down the long front straight in towards turn one. As I mentioned, this is probably the one natural overtaking spot on the circuit. He's got a car on the outside to come out of the pit, which won't get in the way. Of course, his teammate Fear Jack there, who will be a contender for this championship. And he comes out of turn one, missing the apex slightly, coming out of turn one, drifting wide, but able to move over to the right to open up turns two and come in towards turn three. Very flow in the section here. A couple of right-handers as he comes through here. You want to hug the curb on the left-hand side to open up the right-hander here as he comes through 4, 5 and in towards turn 6. Go move to the right-hand side here to open up the hairpin. He does that very well. You want to carry a lot of momentum here. Pudge being very cautious here on this opening run. Just trying to get a lap time on the board as he comes through 7 and 8. Now, again on the curb, carried all the momentum through to come through 9 and of course 10 as well. On the right hand side, does very well there. It's done there. It's a Swedish driver as he now comes through 11 in towards turn 12. Sector 3 is basically almost flat out through here. Probably a little lift through this corner to get on through, as you can see from Podge. Doing that very, very well. Set up the exit here. You can do this in 6th gear, so just a slight touch of the brake pedal. And he comes through, carry all the momentum for us. Very, very good from the Haas driver. And he now sets to the final corner, turn 16. Very easy to invalidate through here, very easy to go wide. As you can see, Podge does. Speaking of that commentator's curse, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that quite a bit over the course of the Grand Prix. It's a Mercedes up towards the line next. I think that's Alvaro Chabas in the Mercedes. Almost red wildfire into the pits. So I think we'll have a Williams of Mad G up towards the line. Comes Mad G. He's a 123.1. That's not the fastest time yet. Here comes Devil Rejected. Can he top it? Up towards the line at 123.5. So not the fastest time so far here in qualifying. We will of course see it ramp up as the session does go on. We've got Fear Jack just starting the lap. We've got UFL F1 Viva coming up towards the line now. Of course, he's reserving in bronze for the first time. So I hope he has an absolutely brilliant race here. And a great first experience in the division. We have got Nimble Cat, who has invalidated his lap as well, so he'll be able to do no more. We've got Taylor up towards the line. Alvaro Chabas just crossing the line, doing a 122.7. That's a great lap there from the Portuguese driver. And Taylor does a 121.5, so not a bad lap time there for what I'd call the silver driver at this stage. I think it's pretty clear Taylor should win this championship. Him and Fear Jack are extremely quick, yeah, in the division, so I expect them to be right up there. Speaking of Fear Jack, let's go on board with the Haas driver and see how he's getting on, the Scotsman here, as he is pushing on his first flying lap. And let's see if he can get anywhere close to that of F7R Taylor. That's an absolutely stonking lap from Taylor. 1.2 seconds clear of Alvaro Chabas, who's got a very, very good time there into the 22s. I would expect high 21s from the drivers towards the end of the session. But here comes Fear Jack out of turn 16 and up towards the line. Comes the Scotsman. Let's see what he can do on his first flying lap. As you can see, the deploy gets used very, very quickly with the ERS here at Qatar. It's not really been set up very well, but he does a 121.5 as well for Fear Jack Boy. So only separated by 2/100ths of a second. So yeah, those two are going to be having their own little battle there at the front. We'll go and see some of the bronze drivers now of F1 Viva coming up towards the line, who I think have just invalidated his lap. So that's unfortunate for him. We've got Dondedge, the podium setter, last time out. As Jenna, absolutely amazing drive from Dondedge, coming on P2 in the race. He'll be absolutely buzzing with that. He just returned from bronze after a little break, and I bet he'll be absolutely buzzing with that podium there. His first podium in Formula 7 racing, and I'm sure it won't be his last either. As he rounds 15, he gets a little bit of a snap, and he's now come through turn 16 up towards the line. Comes Dundedge, let's see what he can do. Absolutely brilliant steward is Dundedge, absolutely brilliant member of Formula 7 racing, but up towards the line he comes in the AlphaTauri, and he does a 1:22.1. So absolutely brilliant lap there from Dundedge. He's right there with the front two. 6 tenths off. However, with how fast they are, I'd say that's basically a bronze pool at this point. We've got Rapid OG, who of course is a silver driver. He'll be retired towards the end of the session, but he's just getting an outlap in just to kind of test the car. We've got Red Wildfire push on the lap after invalidating her first flying run. We'll see if we can find a driver on the lap. We've got Nathan coming out of the final corner and up towards the line. Comes the McLaren driver, the F7R owner, of course. Let's see what he can do in the Papaya McLaren. And he goes P4 for 1:22.4. So very, very respectable lap time there from Nathan, who's rode on probably 2 hours sleep, the same as me after watching the UFC last night. Shout out to anyone who did watch the UFC and is here today, because it is absolutely brutal running with sadly the North American times. But yeah, we got Red Wildfire on the lap in the Mercedes, coming through sector 2. Now just about to enter sector 3. As I mentioned, to make or break the sector, you want to carry as much of a flow and run as possible. Hug the left hand side right on the curve to open up this right hander, of course, of turn 11, 12, the fast right hander 13 and 14, and in towards turn 15 now comes the Mercedes. A Red Wildfire, a lot of understeer on entry, that's going to cost her a lot of time here. And she now comes through the final corner, just the one corner to go through now. F7 Red Wildfire up towards the line she comes, she's going to get a bit of a slipstream there for the Aston Martin. Let's see what she can do. As he goes P6, apologies by the way, Denrod. It is why you should really join on time, but I will add you now. Apologies for that. There we are. Right, you should have an invite, Denrod. If you don't, just let me know. I've invited you on PlayStation. I'm not sure if you are crossplay or not. We've got F1 Viewer just on that outlap. We've got Burkage as well, just pushing to set a banker here. I think we've got Podge coming into the pits as well. We'll see if we can find a driver on that. Rest just set hers, of course, as well. Doug doing a 24.4 in the background as well. Be able to see what Doug can do today. I don't think he's had much practice, Doug. But, hold on, Denver. I'm going to assume you're crossplay, with you saying that. There you are. You should have one now. Thank you to Rapid for backing out on his lap, by the way. You can go a lot faster than that, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, he's just done an out lap just to test his setup and everything. So hopefully he's all good to go for the race. He'll start from the back alongside UFRL, Mr. Poem, Gennady, and of course Merckx as well. We've just had a driver improve. I think that was Podge doing a 1:22.6. So that's a very, very good lap there for the Haas driver. We'll go and see what Devil Rejected is doing as he comes through sector 2 in the Alpine. Really pushing on there. Of course, Devil Rejected having some really good points finishes at the start of his F7 career here. Coming over from MSC, if I'm right, I think Red was saying. It's absolutely amazing to see a couple of MSC drivers on the grid. Of course, we are kind of promoting MSC as they are with us. It's absolutely amazing to see. Of course, it's all adult league as well over MSC, which is absolutely great to see. A lot of mature and clean drivers. So up towards the line comes Devil Rejected. Let's see what he can do on his second flying run here in Q1. And he does a 1:23 flat, so a massive improvement there for Devil Rejected. We got Fear Jack just pushing through sector 1 on the lap. Of course, you can see the ERS just burns here in Qatar, but up towards line comes UFR Viva, and he is going to get his first flying lap here in bronze now after not invalidating this run up towards the line. And he goes P13 but 1:23.4. We got Denrod in, so we now have 20 drivers in the session. So thank you to everyone for showing up this morning. We had a few no-shows, but other than that, Absolutely amazed to see everyone back on track. We'll go back on board with Fiat Jack now as he's about to complete his. I think he's backed out of it. I think Jack's made a little mistake there. Yeah, he has. We'll see if we can find a driver approaching a lap. We'll see him nimble cats on a lap. He might not be the most nimble. However, he is a cat. He's definitely got 9 lives. So let's see what nimble cat can do as he comes through sector 1 here, really pushing hard in that Williams car. Again, missing the apex, coming out of 4 and 5. Here he comes in towards heavy breakers on turn 6. 2 temps up here is nimble cat. He got a little bit of practice in with the S7 guys the other day, due to the TTO event having to get cancelled. Oh, and he goes off track there, nimble cat. So that'll be this run over. Lucky enough, he's got enough time to come back to the pits, bolt on his 3rd set of fresh, soft compound tyres, and go for another flying run. But yeah, he did very well in that session, nimble cat. So fair play. It's absolutely brilliant to see him. Of course, in bronze, and we'll hope to have him in a full-time seat soon. He definitely does deserve it. He's a very clean driver. Here is Nick Jerk coming through the final couple of corners as well. He's just come out of 50 and now coming towards turn 16. The Ferrari driver hugging the inside line, using all the momentum to carry it onto the sausage curb on the outside, up towards the line. Comes F7R Nick Jerk. And he goes P3 for 121.9. Phenomenal lap there from the Dutchman. He'll be very, very proud with that. We got Nathan on the lap as well in sector 2. In the McLaren, he set an absolutely stonking first run as well into the low 22s. Let's see what he can do on his second here. He's pushing on now. Let's see what a second 2 split is like as he comes up towards it now. He is half a second up. Is Nathan. He's awake now. Is the Britsman. Let's see what he can do. Through, of course, 16. Sorry, through 14 and in towards turn 15 now. Almost right through there, almost invalidates on the outside of the corner, and he comes through turn 16. Again, getting that apex absolutely spot on as Nathan carries all the momentum on the outside up towards the line. He comes, a little bit of a correction on the curbing. However, it shouldn't affect him too badly on his run up towards the line. He goes P3, and he's into the 121s, a 121.9. So absolutely phenomenal up there from Nathan, who will now have to dart around the track as quickly as he can to get a fresh set of boots on and ready for his next flying lap. And Mad G is in the P3 for 121.8. He said he was going to be right at the back here. So that's unfortunate there for him. Not unfortunate there for him. He said he was going to be right at the back, sorry. That's what he said he was going to be this morning. He said he was going to be an absolute back marker. That is not the case. Currently he's on the 2nd row alongside the F7R owners Nathan. So very, very good second run there for Mad G. He usually only does 2 runs though. So that might be his final lap here in qualifying, as he's just, I think, seeing if the car behind is on a lap and thinking about getting out of the way of that. We'll see if we can find a driver on a lap. Usually, I think it's just on the in lap, if I'm correct. Taylor might be on a lap. Nope, he is coming into the pits and deciding to cut the last corner for some reason. Pretend I didn't say that. We got Nimble Cat, I think, pushing. He's just finished a lap. He's done a 123.5. So not much improvement there for Nimble Cat, and he's probably not going to get enough time to go again, unfortunately, for the Williams driver. I think we've got Denmark just sorting this setup out and getting ready to go here in qualifying as well. It's essentially going to be a one-shot qualifying for him, so he's got to do the best that he can with that, as we've got Fiat Jack just about to start his final flying lap as well, coming out nice and early here. He's just turned off Fiat Jack as he comes in towards turn 1. But a final time this qualifying session, breaking around 150 metres and now coming through, of course, turn 1 and in towards turn 2. Ooh, he took a lot of curb there, but he's got away with it. As that's really pushing the limits on the track, is what you do to really get the most out of it. But you can tell Jack is really pushing here, trying to take that pole position away from F7R Taylor as he now comes in towards turn 6. 2 temps up. It's Fiat Jack. That was absolutely blistering first sector. I think he could have hit the apex a little bit more coming towards turn 1, but because he hung around the outside, carried all the momentum, he didn't lose too much time there, probably maybe half a temp at most, and he's now pushing now through sector 2, and he comes out of turn 9 and in towards turn 10. Comes the Scotsman now, really pushing on, and he comes out of 11 and in towards turn 12. Again, just understeering off, which is what you need to do to open up the right-hander of 13 and 14, and now he comes in towards turn 15. Again, taking the curb nicely there. Very, very safe on track limits, and he comes through the final corner now. F7R Fiat Jack Can he get anywhere the other time of F7R Taylor? He was only a couple hundreds off. I think he's going to absolutely smash that time here. It looks like an absolutely phenomenal lap. And he does, well, 121.4. He lost a little bit of time in that final sector. But he does go provisional pole here for the Qatar Grand Prix. Couple of drivers just on out laps here. We'll try and find a driver on a lap. I think Yudi is. He is really pushing on in that Scuderia Ferrari here as he comes through sector 2. The Portuguese driver, alongside his fellow Portugueseman of Álvaro Chabas here in bronze. Let's see what he can do on his final run here in qualifying. He's got a little bit of traffic as he comes out of 15 and in towards turn 16. Let's see what he can do. He's got to hug the curb on the outside to open up the inside turn 16. He's drifting wide with a little bit of urgency here, but up towards the line. Comes with the long way up towards the line. He comes. See if he can improve from that P10 position. He goes P7, a very, very good time there from Yudi. A 122.3. He'll be absolutely chuffed to bits with that one. We've got F1 Viva just in Sector 1. Let's see what Doug can do as well in Sector 2. Really pushing on. Doug is, of course, an Aston Martin driver. He's had to be put in the Red Bull just due to reserve confusion this morning, where a few people showed up a little bit late. So I did have someone in Doug's car, but we've got a bit of another one anyways. And he comes out of, I think that's 11, in towards turn 12 now. Comes Doug. You can see he's massively up on his time. He's nice and warmed up here, Doug. I get accused of not giving Doug enough airtime. We'll give him some here in qualifying. And he sets his final flying run of the session. Out of turn 15 he comes, keeping that very valid as Doug. There's a lot of margin there for him. As he comes out of turn 16 and up towards the line. Comes Doug. Let's see what he can do on his final flying run here in qualifying. He's about a tenth and a half up. He should go right towards the top 10 here. And he does. He goes A for 122.4. Brilliant up there from him. Let's go on board. I think F7R Taylor's on the back end of the people who's going to finish a lap. I think we have got... We've got an Alfa Romeo finishing their lap first. We've also got the two Mercedeses, so we'll go on board with F7R Red Wildfire as she comes towards the end of her lap. I think the others either aren't pushing just as hard, but here's Nick coming out the final corner. I think he's the first in line. I think Don Dedge is just ahead of Nick, but we'll stay on board with Nick here as he comes up towards the line. Don Dedge goes P3 for 121.7. Nick does a 121.9. Now we're both F7R Red Wildfire does a 122.3, and Álvaro Chabas does a 122.1. We now have a few other drivers completing the laps. Never rejected as a validate. I think it's just F7R Taylor up towards the line, and he gets pole position with his final lap here in qualifying, a 121.280 for the LP driver as he takes pole here for the Qatari Grand Prix here in F7R. Excuse me, so that is the end of qualifying here. So F7R and Fiat Jockboy, of course, on the front row here for the Qatar Grand Prix. Don Dedge lining up in P3 alongside SFR Mad G. Nathan in P5 on the fourth row. Sorry, on the third row alongside Nick Jur. On the fourth row is Álvaro Chabas alongside his Mercedes teammate of Red Wildfire. So will we see some more team play from Mercedes as I hunt down this Constructors' Championship from, of course, the Haas F1 team. And then we have Yudi and Doug around at the top 10 of the grid. Podge in P11, Jay in P12, the Rejected P13, Viva P14, Nimblecat P15, Rapid OG P16, and then there's all the reserves as well, and Denrod, who start from the back. Massive thank you to everyone tuning in this one, of course. We know it's bright and early for some, very late for others, depending on what region you're in. But absolutely a pleasure to have you here watching this bronze race, as you do most races, to be honest. I think bronze is the most watched league in F7, and for the most part, it actually brings out the best racing. So, absolutely brilliant to see the community. Really appreciate that, and appreciate the drivers on track as well. If you aren't a part of F7 already, but you are interested in, of course, joining a clean and well-run racing league, SMA Smart Discord, in the Twitch chat, we'll bring it into our server. We just need free time trial times from Bahrain, Spain, and Singapore, and we'll get you racing with us, hopefully, as soon as possible. That's not good, Jack. What I would do is, I'd switch the controller, and if you can't get the wheel working, just bring it into the pits, mate. Just try and stay out the way on the opening lap. The best that you can. So, apologies for that, mate. But as we go to 5 red lights here for the Qatar Grand Prix, it's light out and away we go. Taylor gets an absolutely phenomenal start there. On Fear Jack Boy, who of course is on pad, so he's just going to try and stay clear and out the way. Dundedge and Mad J battling in towards turn 1 here. Round the outside goes SR. Mad J just backs out there unless Dundedge goes through. Gets a Washington stay as well. Now he's going to be under pressure from the Williams of Nathan behind. Nothing quite doing there. Podge makes a move on red welfare in the background. A few squabbles towards the back end of the grid. Taylor now will probably want to someone out of the 1 second window at Dundedge. I've got a feeling he won't struggle too much with that early on. Oh, we can see side by side goes the McLaren and J and UFL F1 Viva as well. Having some great battles here on the opening lap here in bronze. Podge and red as well. Also battling, going side by side. Podge goes through. What a move there by Podge on this opening lap. Denrod already gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cut, and that's not what he would have wanted. Oh, I'm so sorry for Jack as well. We hate it when that happens, mate. I'll let you know after the session, Reese, because I honestly cannot remember. There we go. Banana's a nerd. He'll know. We've got Dundedge, who is outside the 1 second window of Taylor, so Taylor's now just probably going to go at his own pace and just kind of dictate how this race goes towards the end of the session. We'll have a look at the tyres as well. Of course, mediums and hards will be the picks of the front guys. Dundedge is on the hards, so he's on the alternative strategy, so it's understandable that Taylor's getting away, but probably not at the rate that he is. But Nick also not having the start he would have wanted down in P6. He'll want to push on now on those hards to try and get into a flow and try and get towards, of course, this top 3. Showed some really good pace in qualifying. Nick wasn't quite able to get the final run he would have wanted, of course. We also got Doug on the mediums approaching this hard compound train. So Doug will be wanting to make some move in that Red Bull / Aston Martin, we'll call it, as he just has a look down the inside of red there. Nothing quite doing. Going in towards turn 6. We got Denrod as well, making a move on Fiat Jack, who's unfortunately taking him out there. I know he's having some issues and he is on pad, Fiat Jack, so it's very unfortunate for him. And Denrod as well got caught up in that. We've now got Mr. Poem and Yudi battling side by side as well. We've also got Mad G and Dundedge towards for a little bit of contact there. Yudi just had a little bit of a snap, and I caught Mr. Poem off guard there. Did very, very well to avoid a serious incident there, them two. Brilliant driving from them. We've got Doug still on the back of this train. We've got Mad G still following on the back of Dundedge. 4 tenths of the gap. Dundedge leading this train away. Nave would have wanted to make a little bit more progress on those mediums as well. However, he is saving the battery, as is most in this train, as Taylor sets the fastest lap of this race with a 1:25.4, which is an absolutely phenomenal lap here at race pace. Red now right on the back of Podge as well. Nothing quite doing there for the Englishman. Englishwoman? I've never had to say that phrase before. I think I said it right anyways. We've got Yudi and Mr. Boom still battling anyways. As they come out of turn 2, Yudi picking up a 3-second time penalty. But again, going side by side, those two, battling really hard here on lap 3. They don't want to lose the train to Devil Rejected. They're currently outside the 1 second window. So they're really going to want to push on here to try and get it in towards them and stay within the train. Because the moment they lose the train, that'll probably be it here in Qatar. It's so important. As you can see, Mad G making a little mistake, but making up for it here in Sector 2. As he wants to hunt down, of course, Dundedge, who is dropping away from Taylor, who's making the use of those mediums. Nathan really needs to be doing the same as well. He needs to build a little bit of VRS and try and make the move on these hard guys and try and utilise the medium rubber while he has it, because he will be on the hards towards the end of this race. He will get an undercut, but of course he'll be on the slower tyre as well. We've got Nick right back. Alvaro goes wide out of turn 15. Will that invite Nick Judd to try and make a move here on the pit straight? Alvaro's managed to get a good run out of the final corner, so it shouldn't affect him too much. Maggi has missed out on the DRS of Don Dedge, and here comes Nathan. Also, here comes Nick Judd. Look for a move on Alvaro. Round the outside. Goes left 7 on Nathan. That's an absolutely astonishing move. Can he keep it? Oh, he just can't carry the traction on the exit of the corner. Oh, Jack's having some more issues. I apologise, Jack. If you can, try and get back in the session. Just retire in the pits if you can, mate. Be absolutely brilliant battle here, but Nathan's still not able to make the moves he would want this race. Mad G, without DRS, has managed to keep Nathan behind. He's now got a push to try to get back within the DRS range of Don Dedge. We've got Nick Jones, clearly got some absolutely astonishing race pace here, just pushing Red Wildfire, Alvaro Chabas along, the other Mercedes driver. Goes to Red Wildfire down in P8, just a couple of places behind there. But yeah, Mad G just struggling to stay within the range of Don Dedge, who's doing very, very well in this opening stint. He's broken the DRS to his dearest rival, and he's now got to focus on setting the fastest lap times he can. Not consistent with the tyres, not burning them out too quickly, of course. Very easy to do on this track. Just bringing the tyres into the right window and getting ready for his final set. I'm just sending Jack an invite, guys, just so he can try and get back in. It's not giving me the option to invite you, Jack. I hope you're back in, mate. But as we see, Nathan now making a move on Mad G. Round the outside he goes, and that's move done there for the McLaren. Probably 3 or 4 laps too late there for Nathan, but he does have the move done. He's got a little bit of a snap coming out of turn 1 as well. We've got the Haas making up its own track limits there. That's Podge going very wide out of turn 1, and Red Wildfire capitalises on that. And here comes Doug as well, trying to pounce on that mistake there for Podge. Doug not making up the moves here. He probably would have wanted to on the mediums, but I think he's just trying to find his flow in this race and really get a consistent race pace going. This Doug, I'm not sure how much practice he's got. There's a little tap there from Podge, and then of course reciprocated there from Doug as well. So luckily enough, we do have reduced damage on here in bronze, so hopefully no damage there for the cars in this train. But as we can see, Nathan has got back within the DRS range at Don Dedge, so Nathan still make those medium tyres work, and that train is going right the way down to P11. So really, right now, it's anyone's race for P2. We've got Taylor out in the lead by 4 seconds and just pulling away. Having an absolutely astonishing race is Taylor. But as we can see, out of turn 15, a little bit of a snack there for Nick Joe, but he manages to catch it very well here. He's going to try and set up the exit of the final corner. Let's see what he can do here, Nick. He's not got the run he would have wanted, though. But here comes Doug on the back of Podge. Side by side they go. In towards turn 1. Doug's got more ERS, but here comes UFL F1 Viva. Down the inside as contact. There, as Doug tries to go around the outside. He makes the move stick, though, Doug. That's a brilliant move from Doug. Down the inside goes Podge. He hits UFL F1 Viva. Oh, no. Just a little bit impatient there from Podge. He didn't need to fight that. And he's going to drop out the points because of it and out of the train. More importantly as well. So F1 Beaver and Doug having a little bit of contact towards turn 1. Hard but fair race from the pair of them, and Pod just trying to make an opportunist move in towards turn 2 on F1 Beaver. Just can't make it stick, and unfortunately has lost the rear end of the car, and he will drop down to P11. There's a yellow flag for an Aston Martin. That is Rapid OG having a little spin there. Not what he would have wanted. But he is right at the back of this grid. Of course, he did come in last minute, so massive thank you to Rapid for reserving this morning. And I hope he can get going again as soon as possible. Yeah, but there he goes. So Red has just picked up a 3-second time penalty as well for corner cutting. That's going to be massively affect her race. Here on lap 6, picking up a 3-second. That is massive. Here comes Esteban Mad G on the back of Nathan. Can he go for a move in towards turn 1 here? The Season 6 Gold World Champion down the inside. Gold World Champion, Bronze World Champion. Can Nathan handle it? Around the outside. He leaves a space. Matt G goes through. Brilliant move there from the Englishman. And he is now back towards his rival Don Dedge. As we can see, the Mercedes getting racing behind of Alvaro Jabas, the former teammates. Nathan and Alvaro now turned fierce rivals here in bronze, of course. We'll see towards the back, Devil rejected. Making a move on Ginaudi around the outside. That is an absolutely brilliant move from the Alpine there. Ginaudi not fighting that too hard, of course. No, he's not a bronze driver. But that's absolutely brilliant stuff there from Devil rejected. I hope the likes of him can get back in towards the train. Same with Podge. Because they're kind of in no man's land right now. Yeah, I absolutely loved Hungary. I don't like Qatar though. I'm not going to lie, absolutely amazing to see you in here as well this morning. Of course, a couple of MSC drivers in here this morning as well. I think might be one, maybe two. So it's great to see you guys represented here in F7. Oh, as Uni picks another 3-second time penalty up. That's now 6 for Uni on lap 7. And it's not the race he would have wanted here, as Nick now is going for a move, as is Nathan. Nathan, I think, more on the switch with Mad J again. Down the inside. Goes F7 on Nathan. He's got the inside line. The outside line carries more momentum. We're going to watch Mad J now as he comes through turn 2. Just slots him behind. He realises the fight might let Don Dedge go. So they're just working together in tandem for the moment. It might not stay that way, of course. However, they are working in tandem to try and stay at the moment with Don Dedge and with the main train. But as we can see, Alvaro Jabas really pushed on as well. Nick starting to drop off on those hards. He showed such good race pace, Nick. You just can't make the overtakes. It's so hard when you got such a draggy car, which you have to run here at Qatar to really maximise, of course, Sector 2 and Sector 3. Of course, the only straight you have is the main straight leading towards Turn 1 here. So you've got to run a very high downforce car. And as you can see, it does limit the overtaking moves that you're going to see, and it isn't the most entertaining tracks, Qatar, but it's a very fun one for the drivers to drive, so I'm sure it's almost like a roller coaster. It's kind of like Portimao. You know, you've kind of got flowing corners. As you can see, Doug, oh, sorry, Doug, just on board for you there. He's got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. I've got a feeling a lot of drivers are going to get them. Lap 8 might be a little bit early for your first one. However, I've got a feeling a lot of drivers, as we get through this race, are going to end up with time penalties here. Nathan has just stayed within the DRS range, of course, with Don Dedge as well. Mad G just sitting in behind. ERS doesn't really recharge around here either, so we can see a lot of drivers flashing. And we've got Nick here defending the inside, going towards turn 1, just in case Alvaro Jabas looks for a move. Nothing quite doing there for the Portuguese driver at the moment. As we'll have a look towards the back to see if there's any racing there. Here is Mr. Poem going round the outside of Devil Rejected. Look for the switchback. Oh, and Devil Rejected's just parked it there. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Mr. Pope set that up absolutely perfectly for a switchback. He was just too slow coming out the goal, never rejected. And Mr. Pope was a much faster driver. Didn't really expect it. Of course, Mr. Pope reserving this morning. He is silver pace, so he is a lot faster than most of these guys. Red Wildfire right on the back of our teammate of Alvaro Jabas. So it might be interesting. With Red having a penalty, it might be worth Alvaro actually letting her go if she's got the pace to close up to Nick Joe. We'll see if there is team orders in the Mercedes camp as things does go on. However, they do have Doug right on the tail as well, so they've got to be very careful in that regard. Taylor up to a 5.7 second lead. Absolutely phenomenal first stint there for the former silver title winner, of course, F7R Taylor. Won season 1 of silver, so a timely member of F7 is Taylor. Just have a look towards the back. I'm not sure if Jack has sorted out his issues. He's at the back with Denmark, who he had contact with while he's having a few of those issues. But I do hope that Jack has addressed those issues. We hate to see them. As you can see, Nathan going round the outside turn 1 on Don Dedge, sweeping around the outside, and Nathan goes through and is up to P2 in this race. So Nathan, towards the end of the stint, is making the moves on the mediums. I thought he would have been a lot more aggressive in that first stint with him being on the mediums. Both him and Taylor are the only drivers in the top 7 on that compound. As the yellow flag, I think that's for Yudi at the back. Is it? I think it was, unfortunately. We can see UFL F1 Viva now on the fringes of the point and now going in towards Doug as well. So he's having an absolutely great race here, F1 Viva. On, of course, his F7R debut as Yudi gets now another 3-second penalty. That's 9 now for Yudi. That's not what he would have wanted at all. But yeah, with there being only one overtaker, though, it's kind of, unless a driver goes flying off the track, it's kind of quite a boring lap to kind of spectate, unfortunately. There's not really much going on. It's mostly single file, a couple of drivers losing time at particular corners. However, there's not really any overtaking point. And we can see Nick Jur coming out of turn 16, right on the back of the Williams. Will he look for a move going in towards turn 1 now? As he ducks in towards the slipstream, when he go around the outside in towards turn 1, Don Dedge is looking for a move on Nathan round down the inside, and he makes a move, does Don Dedge, so he's back in towards turn 2. Nick can't quite make the move on Mad G. He's really struggled to make place in this race. Red and Alvaro have swapped, and Taylor is 6 seconds clear because he's way faster than the rest of the field, Ben. He started on the mediums, he started from pole. Jack had some wheel issues, otherwise I think Jack would have been there with him, but Taylor's just kind of running his own race at the minute. But yeah, kind of, as I say, single file here. Of course, Nathan will get a bit of an undercut on these guys, as will Doug, as will F1 Viva and Jay. However, of course, they will be on the hard compound tyre and not on the better race tyre of the mediums. As Rapid OJ has retired from the session. I think that's in the pit lane once that comment goes. Yeah, it is. So thank you for reserving this morning, Rapid. I know it wasn't the race you would have wanted, mate, but thank you for that regardless. As we do a Mad G right on the back of F7R Nathan as they come in towards turn 1. Mad G already flashing. Will that invite Nick Jur into the fray as the two Mercedes go side by side as well? Alvaro Chamas re-overtakes Red Wildfire. Round the outside goes Nathan. Down the inside goes Mad G. Then leaves space for each other. As you can see, Mad G make a correction on the wheel. Nathan leaves the space as well. Leaves too much space. And Nick Jur, the opportunist, goes round the outside of turn 2 and makes a move in this race. Yeah, no worries at all, Rapid. Of course, it does take a lot of time on new equipment, so don't worry at all about that. As Denrod has also retired in the pit lane. Side by side goes the Aston Martin of F1 Viva and Doug. Doug around the outside. Yeah. Oh, he gets a massive snap! And he sent Jay off. Jay got really spooked by that snap. Went to go and avoid it and has hit the wall. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Jay and for Doug as well. Not the sequence either driver would have wanted. Doug caught the snap very well though, I must add. He did very well to catch it. He's only lost one position to UFO F1 Viva. And he is still in the main tree. He does have a 3-second time point though, which he'll have to make up. But Mad G really is pushing here in this final stint. However, he does have substantially less battery, I must say, than Don Dedge, who's basically got a full battery compared to Mad G with just a tiny little bit there. But I think they will keep swapping positions. Keep chopping and changing. Here is Nick Jur applying the pressure here on Mad G. And he might go for the lead this race here. Down the inside goes Nick. Can he make the move here on both the Williams and the AlphaTauri? He's got the inside line. Mad G though around the outside carries all the momentum, all the traction, and he keeps P1 in this race. Don Dedge just of course stays in P4 at this moment. Just buying his time as Don Dedge, playing the smart game, not getting involved in these battles, not burning his ERS, and he's put himself in a really good position for the remaining section of this race. As there's going to be a point where Taylor's going to get a free pit stop here. I swear. He's absolutely flying out there in front. To have no problems in silver, of course, when he reserves at 12:30 after this. We do have our silver division, and I think Taylor and Jack, if he can get his wheel sorted, will be reserving in that. So look forward to seeing those lads battle it out with the silver guys and show what they've truly got. But yeah, we do have Nick in P3 for the first time in this race. Nick's starting to make moves. He's been very patient with his battery as well, may I add, Nick. He's got a substantial amount compared to Mad G here. Could be interesting. Taylor does come into the pits here on lap 13. And you get to slow down nice and early there, Taylor. to make his one and only pit stop onto the hard compound tyres. Richard Bass also following Taylor in towards the pits here. As we do have Nick trying to hold P2 at this stage. And he does manage to keep it going in towards turn 1. I say P2, net P2 in this race, of course. Currently leading the race. Of course, there was a safety car that would really hamper Taylor's plans. So he would definitely be praying that that isn't the case, because he's been absolutely dominating out in front. But yeah, Maggi showed some really good pace in the final set of this race. Of course, Maggi does lose full traction control, so it does start to benefit him on the tyres towards the end of the stint. And you can just see he's really pushing the Ferrari around at the minute. Nick Joe just kind of struggling. On those 13 lap old hards, we've still got F1 Beaver and Doug also out there on the mediums in this main train. So they're doing very well to stretch their tyres. However, 15 laps on the hards will make it a very, very easy final stint, of course, for those guys. As Taylor picks up a 3-second time point for corner cutting, however, to be perfectly frank, because he had a 9-second gap, I don't think he'll mind 3 seconds too much here. Of course, Taylor in the Alpine. We've got Podge picking up a 3-second time point as well. That might be more substantial for his race. Battling in the midfield. As Dondage gets to slow down, going in towards the pit lane for his stop. We've got Magic going down the inside for the lead of this race, and he does get it here on lap 15 yet again. And these hard runners are just trying to search it a little bit more. I think the pit window is open for these guys if they do want to switch on to the mediums. However, it just depends how much fresher tyres they do want towards the end of this race. But yeah, Taylor just in clear air at the minute. There's nothing really to block him, because he's going to get through Ginaldi quite quickly, and he's got another 3 seconds, of course, to Podge as well. We've got Red, who's just disconnected from the train of Nick and Mad G. I'm not sure if she can respond to that. Of course, did a little bit of practice with Red. She's not a huge fan of this track, but she's doing a very, very good job so far this race. So very consistent race pace, as Judy picks up another time penalty here. We'll have a look at the penalty. So Red's on 3, Doug's on 3, Podge is on 6, Taylor's on 3, Jack's on 3, the Rejected's on 3, and Judy is on 18 at this current moment. So we've got Doug right on the back of F1 Viva, and Doug just choose to stay out at the last minute there. I was a let go there from Doug to choose to stay out, but he will get the DRS, of course. But every other driver in the train into the pit lane. So they are all going for the undercut on Nick Jers. Taylor set the fastest lap in this race with a 1:24.9. I can safely tell you now that will not be beaten. So Taylor will probably get the fastest lap in this race. Unless anyone does choose to brave this off. Maybe Nick might, we'll never know. He's definitely going for the overcut as Dundedge and Maggi are fighting there, coming out of turn 1 in towards turn 2. Maggi has a little look up the inside, but Dundedge matches the hold position around the outside. He does brilliant racing from the two of them here. So both of them pitting, of course, on the same lap as we go back to tyre compounds. Sorry, Dundedge going for the undercut there. Maggi to make up time with the overcut and stay in position with Dundedge, who's going to have one lap fresher tyres toward the end of this race. So that's not what Dundedge would have ideally wanted, with Maggi getting, of course, the DRS from Nick Jar on the last lap. As we can see, Ginaldi letting Taylor through, of course, and Taylor's just going to keep bombing in these fast laps as much as he can. As you can see him flashing on the rear end. Nick Jar and Doug are responding to everyone who's previously pitted, and the Red Bulls are double stacking. Yes, that's not what Merckx and Doug would really want. But you can see Merckx get this slow down very well then, carrying a lot of momentum in towards the pits. But yeah, Taylor will retake the lead of this race, and I think you have probably a margin of like 10 seconds here, maybe even a little bit more than that, maybe even up to 14 or 15. As Yuri gets another 3-second time, but he's going to have to be careful. The game might actually disqualify him towards this point, which wouldn't be very nice. And we've got Maddie and John Dedge going side by side towards turn one again. These two will be battling throughout this race. Maddie still in the lead at this moment. One lap fresher tyres as well. Further Williams drive as he leads away from the AlphaTauri's Don Dedge. Let's have a look at, of course, the ERS usage as well. We've got Don Dedge with 46%, Maddie with 16%. So, of course, Don Dedge in a much better position battery-wise to really utilise that. As we can see, Nathan is right on the back of Fear Jack Boy, who hasn't pitted yet in this race, and he's holding up the Papaya McLaren and letting the cars behind catch up of Alvaro Chabas and Maddie and Don Dedge and everyone in that train. So Jack having his issues now, and he's now getting caught up by the lads who have come into the pits. Jack is the only one yet to pit, I think, in the field apart from Ginaldi. So Fear Jack really struggling outside. You can see the difference between fresh and old hards. I think Jack is just staying out hoping for a safety car at this stage, and he is trying to battle for that, but I think Nathan will make the move very easily down in towards turn one, and I think Alvaro Chabas will also try and follow him here, as we see a Red Bull there. Sorry, that was the Alfa Romeo of Ginaldi into the pits. And we can see Maggi and Don Dedge battling, as we can see. Nothing quite doing there for Alvaro Chabas, but he needs to really get past Fear Jack Boy, because you're going to lose so much time in the corners. You're just going to see the difference here, as Devil Rejected has retired in the pit lane. That's so unfortunate for Devil. Not the race he would have wanted here, but he showed some absolutely brilliant stuff in bronze since joining, so I'm sure he'll pick himself up and he'll have a better race next week. Oh, as you can just see the difference, Alvaro having to back out of that almost to avoid hitting the back of Fear Jack here. Of course, Alvaro on the mediums, Fear Jack lagging backwards there towards Alvaro Chabas with the car leaving. No worries, Devil. That's actually a very good point on the view. I completely forgot to mention that, so thank you for that. There will be a few drivers struggling for fuel here. It does burn it a lot, this track. You have to run about 3 laps over with no safety car to get to the end. As we can see, oh no! Red spun on the curb! That is so unfortunate for Red. She was high into the pie, she was having a very consistent race, and she's going to drop well outside them here as Podge goes ahead of the Mercedes driver. And as we can see, Fear Jack Boy and Alvaro battling. Alvaro finally manages to get past Fear Jack on those 18 lap old hards. And it hasn't actually cost Alvaro too much time. He's still just about within the range of Nathan. Excuse me, my voice is starting to go already. You don't have him commentating for a while because I really struggle to get through these stages. But as you can see, Fear Jack holding up Maggi, an absolute treat here. Maggi going down the inside, going in towards turn 6. Fear Jack goes off the track. It's costing them both trying here to the train. Oh my god. The difference between fresh mediums and old hards is becoming apparent here. Jack's just begging for a safety car, but I don't think it's going to come. And I think it's just really hampering the drivers behind, unfortunately. So like some Maggi, Don Dedge, Nick Jur, all stuck in this train. It's also bringing F1 Viva right into this as well. So keep an eye out for him in the Aston Martin as this race does go on. Doug hopefully can catch back up with this train as well after performing the overcut. Currently behind Jay at this moment in time, but unfortunately had to go into the wall to avoid the twitchy Doug earlier on in the session. Fear Jack Boy does come into the pits now, but for Mad G it'll be 1 lap too late, and he is now 2 seconds behind the park here as Alvaro is closing down Nathan, but both don't really have any battery going in towards turn 1, so no move doing. Now Nick going past Mad G. These three are going to have to work together here. They can't squabble, they can't go side by side like this. They're going to lose touch of the train if they do. Oh, is Nick just forced off a little bit there by the Williams? I think the space was given down the inside of turn 4. Will Nick go? No, he doesn't. He just slots in behind the Williams of Maddie. Don Dedge still following behind in P6, being very patient here, Don Dedge. But I think, unfortunately, for Don Dedge, he's kind of getting a little bit hampered here by the battling out in front. And I forgot I had my mic muted while I was having a drink, so apologies for that, guys. But yep, few time penalties on the board, mostly 3 seconds for the guys, apart from Podge with 12, and of course Yudi with 21. Sure, we'll keep the penalties up, because I think there's going to be a few more in this race. It's just easier. As Podge picks up another 3 second time penalty, that's up to 15 seconds now for Podge. So that's not what he would have wanted. Him and Red are battling towards the back here, but Red has gone through and made another move. What's got Merckx preparing for Silver, battling with fellow UFRL friend, we could say, of Mr. Poem. Let's see what Merckx can do in that regard. Doug and F1 Viva awful, looking to close each other down here. Doug 3 seconds back, but I'm sure he'll close down that margin. Of course, making the overcut around the outside of turn 15 goes Nathan. What a move! Sorry, not Nathan, Nick. Nick making a brilliant move there into turn 15, and he might go for the lead here. Going in towards turn 1. He just not got quite enough overspeed there, has Nick, but what a move on Nathan. Really did catch him napping going through turn 16. And the Dutchman makes that move look easy going out of turn 16 as well. Mr. Poem picks up a 3 second time penalty. But it's good practice for Poem. Of course, he's reserving in Silver, which will be his division, so I'm hoping he has a brilliant race there in Silver as well. Also got Dondage right on the back of Mad G as well still. Those 3 or 4 still locked in tandem. They have caught back up to the main train, of course, of Alvaro. And Nathan has Nick, Mad G and Dondage. So finally to start fighting. They've also brought another driver with them in F1 Viva, who's having a brilliant final stint of this race. Can he make a dent into the top 6 picture here? We've got Mr. Poem battling side by side with Jay as well. Jay holding the line there and keeping P9 for the moment. Jay having a very good recovery here after, of course, that spin earlier on in the first stint. So props to Jay for that. I know it's very easy to lose your head, but he has kept it very well here. He has got reserves behind him as well, so he doesn't have to worry about that too much. We also have Nick Joe making a move for the lead again on average. Mass just switching position, these guys. But again, with Nick carrying the most ERS out of a lot of them, he's going to be in a prime position in 6 laps time for the final lap of this race. We'll just have a look at the ERS usage for each driver just to kind of see where they're all at. As you can see, Nick is struggling on fuel as well. We didn't mention that before. Fuel might be an issue for some of these drivers. On 35% battery, Alvaro Chavas on 16%. Nathan also struggling on fuel, so he's going to have to save. Mad G, currently good on fuel, but on 11%. Don Dej on 27% battery. F1 Viva just staying within the 10% region. And in the back of this train, Doug on 6, Poem on 35, Jay just about on 15 as well. So imagine this race pretty well towards the back, but we do have a couple of drivers struggling on fuel. Those are Nathan and Nick Joe towards the front of this field. It's so hard to save fuel around here as well, but here comes Don Dej down the inside, going towards turn 1. He's burning the battery, a little bit of contact between himself and Mad G. Mad G turning a little bit early there and having contact with Don Dej. Lucky enough, Don Dej able to keep the car. I thought for sure he was going to go around there, but luckily enough, he turned in just late enough, Mad G, to not, of course, offset the car of Don Dej. However, Don Dej have just spent all of his ERS trying to make that move up the pecking order and try and get track position leading to the final lap of this race. Because, of course, we're going to see a lot of fuel saving here from Nick Joe and also Nathan to try and get to the end of this race in the position they're currently in, because they're going to lose a lot of time. And there's Nick Joe getting a 3 second time penalty. He's up to 6 seconds. Fear Jack picking up a 3 second time penalty as well. Moving up to 6 in total and then P15 at the minute. He's not going to lose any positions there, Fear Jack, after the unfortunate wheel issues at the start. But yeah, this lead train is going to get quite interesting towards the end of this, especially with Nick having 6 seconds worth of time penalties and saving fuel. There might be a lot of positions for the likes of F1 Viva to make here, lead into these final laps. As we can see, Dundedge yet again going for the move here on Maggi. Yeah, we know, Rose. Unfortunately, it's too late in the day. He kind of sandbagged earlier on in the season. And yeah, he's kind of unfortunately ruined it for the rest of the front drivers who are nowhere near his pace. But you know, he's improved over the course of the season. Taylor. He's clearly put in a lot of practice. So yeah, he's going to win this championship quite comfortably, Taylor. As we can see, put him going a little bit off track in the dirty Merckx, but no. But yeah, we're not going to make the same mistake of letting faster drivers fight it out in bronze in the future. Because we've got a few guys who should really be in silver. Yeah, who we kind of let battle earlier on the season, and yeah. Yeah, sadly that got discussed too late in the day, 80, to do much about it. But as we can see, Nick going a little bit wide there. He's going to lose multiple positions here. Is the Ferrari driver, also on Dundedge. There's been a lot of battling throughout this race. Yeah, everyone else is really close in this train, 80, right the way up to P7, the all battling. As we can see, I think Nick's realised the fuel issues might be too much here. He's just slotted in behind. He's made a few mistakes on this lap, as Nick. And now he's let the train go, but Maggi has lost DRS to Dundedge. So F1 Viva really is going to have to burn the battery and make the move here. I think he's just realised now. Here he is, burned the battery, going in towards turn 1. Also Dundedge making a move on Nathan in the background, as you can see. But yep, this train is going to have to close back up. And UFO F1 Viva is going to have to burn all 6% of his battery, which is all that he's got, to try and close back up to this lane train. After that gap caused by Nick just having a few issues there on this lap. Nick getting another 3-second time penalty. This is not the end of the race Nick would have wanted yet. But it will be interesting to see. Dundedge has also lost the DRS to Alvaro Chabas as well. So can Alvaro keep that gap? Of course, Alvaro doesn't have a penalty either. So he's in a very good stead here. But can Nathan close back up with this train, even though he's got some fuel saving to do? As we can see, Nick are really struggling. Taylor, the fact you can chat whilst in the lead of a race. Yeah, definitely in the wrong division, but it's too late in the day to change anything, of course, so yeah. But as we can see, Nathan following just behind Dundedge. And he kind of hated, yeah, it kind of does feel like that. Which is unfortunate because it's not really what you want. Yeah. It's probably what Max would do if he had a keyboard 80 as well. Kind of chat shit into the chat while it's in his car. But no, Doug's actually really close up with this train here, so Doug could be a massive factor in this race. Of course, I think he's on the fresher hard compound tyres compared to most of these guys here, Doug. We'll just try and get the tyre compounds. Like, yeah, he is. He's on 10 lap old hards. So yeah, Doug could be a factor in this race. He doesn't have much battery to work with, but he's in a good position here, Doug. He's also dragging that train with him, which Jay is just trying to hold on to here. Jay has no penalty, so he could move up the order as well. So it could be an interesting finish here. Of course, his teammate of Nathan may actually back up the field here. It'd be really smart with, of course, him having the fuel save as well. He's got 2 laps to do it now. He's going to really struggle to do so. But yeah, Dundedge been a little bit of VRS, but I don't think it's going to stop Nathan yet. As they come in towards turn 1. As we can see Maggi also looking for a move on F1 Viva. Nothing quite doing there. Poe making a move on Doug as well. Good move there from Poe, moving up the field. Showed some really good race pace here ahead of his silver debut, of course, in just an hour's time. So looking forward to seeing that. Red also making a move on Podge, going in towards turn once that's move done there for Red Wildfire. And that will be points coming towards the end of the session. So that is really good to see from them. As we can see, Maggi just holding on at the minute. But yeah, Nathan has still got the fuel issue. Nick also pitted, I think, because he was aware that the fuel issue was going to come into it towards the end of the session. So it's going to be a very difficult last few laps here for Nathan. I think he's content just to run out of fuel here and just try and keep as much momentum as he can. But he might drop towards the fringes of the points here. Also, may I add, well done to Albert Jabas for managing to break this train. He's done very well. He, of course, managed to get through Nick Judd better than most people on the grid after Nick's mistake, and Nick kind of held everyone up, and Alvaro's managed to keep that gap to Don Dedge pretty similar to just outside that 1 second window. Here comes F1 Viva. Of course, he's got no more battery to work with. He's in the slipstream of Nathan. He just can't quite make the move there. Maggi following in behind, as is Poem. Also got Jay making a move on Merckx, who I think just let him through there towards the final set of this race. So thank you very much for that, Merckx. As we are on the final lap of this race here. And of course, F1 Viva right on the back of Nathan here. We'll stay on board with the car's battery just because Taylor's so far ahead. We know he's going to win the race, so we don't need to go on board with Taylor as he wins. We've got Poem there just moving to the outside as well. As you can see, Nathan really having the fuel save, not really getting on the throttle very much, and this is where F1 Beaver and Maggi are really going to battle here. Poem just a reminder to let the top 10 through, mate. But yeah, I think Nathan's out of fuel now. You can see he's really struggling. You can see the gap forming. Oh, he's got a 3-second time penalty as well. That's devastating. And here comes F1 Viva down the inside. A turn 15 space left. Brilliant driving there from F1 Viva. And now Maggi following Nathan through. How many positions will Nathan lose here as Taylor has won the race? Taylor wins the Qatar Grand Prix. Alvaro Jabas comes home in P2. Don Dedge in P3. And Nathan is dropping a few positions, but not too many though. He does finish in P8 in the end there. So massive thank you to Poem for pulling into the pit lane at the end of this race. We will, of course, remove you from the top 10 at the end. I think you still might get top 10 even in the pits. But yeah, Jay with a brilliant recovery drive, coming home in P6, Maggi P5, Don Dedge P4. Euro F1 Viva in his first race here in bronze, getting a podium. So phenomenal job there for him. Also got Doug there in P7, so close to Taylor. Sorry, not Taylor, Jay. Nathan so close to Doug as well in the time screen. If he didn't get that penalty, he would have had him. Via Jack will get points. Despite all his issues, Jack will be 10th in this race once we take Poem out of it. So Jack has stuck it out. He's persevered with everything. And he will get a solitary point here, which just epitomises that never give up attitude. So well done to Fear Jack. He's done very well to get over the technical issues. And of course come home with at least a solitary point. So yeah, as mentioned, it is Taylor on the top spot there for the Portuguese driver of Alvaro in P2. And of course, F1 Viva currently in P3 on the final step of the podium. So we'll just go through the race results now. Of course, Don Dedge picking up a now brilliant result there in P4. Maggi in P5. Jay in P6. Doug in P7. Nathan coming on in P8 despite running out of fuel. Red in P9. Poem in P10. However, he will be displaced by Jack in the stands come the end of it. Nick in what will be P11. Numblecat P12. Podge P13, Udi P14, and yeah, there is the rest of the DNFers. Of course, fastest lap going to Nick Judd, so there'll be no fastest lap point for anyone, unfortunately. With that drive of the day, we will go with F1 Viva. What a drive from P14 to a podium. on debut. I don't think you can ask for a better debut than that. They were absolutely brilliant on the stretch. The race pace really shone through towards the end of it as well. So I think a deserving driver there for F1 Viva. We won't do interviews, guys, just because everyone's got to get set up for silver and stuff. And also, I am running on 2 hours sleep from watching UFC 300 this morning. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit rough at the minute. I do apologise if my voice was breaking a little bit during comms. It's pretty brutal when you're running on no sleep, basically. But no, absolutely amazed to be back on bronze comms. Amazing to see all the guys in action. Of course, we will have silver 12:30. We'll see Fear Jack and Taylor in that. So those guys will get to show their pace with drivers who have similar pace. So if you do want to see them really battling out in Qatar with drivers more than level, you'll get to see that at 12:30 alongside all the other silver drivers, alongside Pullum, who did a brilliant job reserving the as did Merckx. So massive thank you to all those guys for that. But that'll be it here for round 15 in bronze. Massive thank you to everyone tuning in this morning. If you're not a part of the server already, estimate my Discord in the chat. We'll bring you in to the 47 Racing server and we'll get you racing with us as soon as possible, of course. Massive thank you to Rock Solid Rigs for sponsoring us, as well as MSC and TTL Esports. But that's it from me. I hope to see you all next week. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys.